Shalom, 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 Israel, brother Amos with the Watchman for Israel. First and foremost, as we always do, we're going to give all honor, praises, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, to the brothers pushing his truth in strong sincerity, laboring on the highways and byways, doing all they can for the hopeful elect. I want to give you all a strong shalom. To the sisters holding it down in the households, reverencing their husbands, being a teacher of good things to the younger women and to the children. I want to give you all a strong shalom. And to the men and women forsaking this world, coming back to serve our God, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. I want to compel y'all to be as a church of Berea, to search the scriptures daily and diligently to see if the words that be spoken to you are true or not. Right? It's a lot of false prophets, soothsayers, men that are sent forth to deter the truth. Right? And it's our job to be that strong defense for the body and the nation of Israel to pour out sound doctrine through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, not altering or twisting up the words of the Lord, but thus saith the Lord and giving a sense. Right? So, speaking of sense, right, we're going into what the Most High has given us to reason, to give understanding, to break down, and essentially give not just motive, but strength and all manner of beauty for the words of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Right? That's what we're sent forth to do. Right? This is Sirach, chapter 27 and verse number 5. And it reads, "The furnace proveth the potter's vessel, so the trial of man is in his reasoning." Right? So as the furnace, back when we was in school, they called it a kiln. Right? The kiln that you would put a vessel that you made of clay in, and it heats up to like 700 degrees, and in that 700 degrees, it'll either fold, the bowl, cup, plate, whatever you made with that vessel, right? That fire will show if it can withstand that heat and come out to be a beautiful vessel. It says, so the trial of man is in his reasoning, right? So the trial of man is in his thought process, what he thinks, how he moves, his speech, right? All things to magnify the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, right? Are you truly in this truth, right? Is your mind fixated on being better? Is your mind fixated on growing? Is your mind fixated on understanding, right? Or is your mind just fixated on things of this world, right? A lot of men who say they're in this truth, right, their mind is fixated on dealing with situations the way people of the world will deal with them, right? The Most High, he wouldn't want me to not make money on the Sabbath, so I'm gonna take this job where I can make $150,000 a year, right? We're overthinking it, right? The Lord knows my heart. That's the reasoning of man, right? The reasoning of a wise man who's in the spirit understands that temptation is always going to come forth. And temptation is going to show what manner of man you are. Are you going to stand 10 toes down? Are you going to be bold in the sight of adversity? Right? Are you going to be honest that this is Satan trying to get you to defile the Sabbath? Or are you just going to follow your own heart? So that's the trial of a man, how you reason in situations, right? How you deal with things that may not seem congruent or contingent for you, right? And everybody has to go through it. Everybody has to go through it. Let's go to Sirach 17. Right, this is Sirach 17. And I'm going to start at, where I want to start at. We'll start at 1. Sirach 17 and verse number 1. It says, the Lord created man of the earth and turned him into it again. Right? So we was all raised up from the dust. Right? We all come from different minerals and certain things of the earth that we were created of. And also that shows you that the so-called white man doesn't know what he's talking about. Right? So-called white man says a Big Bang theory happened and something came from nothing. In no part of history does something ever come from nothing. Right? It always takes matter. Right? In this case, the Most High formed and created the whole world through Yahweh and the angels. Right? And they took certain minerals and resources and whatever the Most High used to create the earth. Right? That's what he did. He gave them few days in a short time and power over the things they're in. He endowed them with strength by themselves and made them according to his image. So man was created in the image of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Right? He was created in the image. And put the fear of man upon all flesh and gave him dominion over beasts and fowls. Right? They received, and that's why you understand the reason of a man, how he treats his animals. Right? The scriptures tell you the righteous regarded the life of his beasts. So that shows you the type of man that you're dealing with. Right? Is that man wicked and off and disgusting? Does he not feed his animals? Does he kick his dog? Or, just another point about reasoning. Right? It says, they received the use of the 5 operations of the Lord. In the 6th place, he imparted them understanding, and in the 7th, speech, and interpretation of congregation thereof. Right? So the world tells us we have 5 senses. Right? What's that? Smell, touch, sight, hearing, and taste. But the Lord told us we have understanding. Right? The Lord gave us understanding to be able to comprehend, understand, perceive. As the beasts in the world, they move off instinct. Right? That's why you see a flock of birds just fly around when they hear a sound. Oh, I heard that sound, it's time to go. Right? The Most High gave us reasoning to be able to process, to be able to think, to be able to evaluate, to be able to weigh pros and cons. Right? Counsel and tongue and eyes, ears, and in heart gave he them to understand, wherewithal he filled them with the knowledge of understanding and showed them good and evil. So from the foundation, the Most High gave us that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to be able to decipher good from evil, right from wrong, beauty from ugly, so on and so forth. Right? That's even as a child. Right? If you study and look at babies, babies always react and love things that are good. Right? They always do. They always laughing when somebody's smiling at them. Right? You talking that little baby talk, they get to happy and laughing. But somebody with a bad spirit come around, the baby instantly can know it. They instantly can see it. Right? They start moving different. They cry. And it's not just because the spirit may be bad. Maybe it's because of somebody they don't know. Right? Even as young, we have that understanding. Even as babes. Right? So the Most High has gave us that understanding. And with that understanding, we have to take the opportunity to apply all the senses that the Most High has given us. Right? And use the gift of understanding that the Lord has given all Israel. Right? Use that reasoning to understand that everybody's not forth to help you receive salvation. Everybody's not sent forth to help you receive understanding. Right? Everybody's not sent forth to help you grow on your walk in this truth. Some people are set forth for the hindrance of the work. Some people are set forth for the lust of their own belly. And that's the reason and understanding that we should have and we should notice in man's speech, in man's doings and man's actions. Right, I'm gonna get one more. All right, Wisdom of Solomon. Come on, dog. All right, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2. I'm gonna start at verse number 22. Right? Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, and verse number 22. As for mysteries of Yahweh, they knew them not. It's like, as for the mysteries of Yahweh, they knew them not, neither hoped they for the wages of righteousness, nor discerned a reward for blameless souls. For Yahweh created man to be immortal, and made him to be an image of his own eternity. Nevertheless, through envy of the devil came death into the world, and they that hold of his side do find it. So the Lord created us to be immortal. He gave us the understanding of how to be immortal, how to move in the spirit, how to obtain the things that seem unobtainable. But through the lust of the things of this world, it causes us to fall. It causes us to turn our heads to things that have no value. And as men and women of understanding, right, we have to be able to put things on trial. Test the things to see if it stands toe with the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Because if it doesn't stand, toe to toe with Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, right, then it's not for our doing, it's not for our good. It's set forth for our destruction. So with that being said, use those senses that the Lord gave us. Take the time to understand and apply, seek, right, devour, and receive the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding from the Lord. Right, with that, I say shalom.